It's been a while since we got into some NBA conversation here at Prime Sports World, and the 2026 NBA trade deadline has come and gone. And as typical with the NBA trade deadline, once again, it did not disappoint. Just a bunch of player movement. I'm going to get the full stats here in a couple of minutes here, but we're going to break down the whole 26 NBA trade deadline. Many people kind of thought that this was going to be a rather quiet NBA trade deadline because there's not a lot of rumors coming into it, but boy, there were a lot of player movement, a lot of stuff going on in the final hours here of the NBA trade deadline with some big-time names getting moved. And the Bulls finally pushing the eject button on whatever they've been doing the last 5 years. Nice to see them finally push the blow it up button. I'm, of course, your host, David. I'm Point Up. I'm joined today by Mr. T.J. Hopkins. Welcome to the show, man. If you like what we're doing here at Prime Sports World, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. Happy Thursday, TJ. Happy Super Bowl week. You know, I missed you on the show on Tuesday. What's your Super Bowl pick, real quick?
I'm going Seattle. I just think I think that front four of the Seattle defense is going to cause enough trouble for Drake May. An interesting tidbit was brought up regarding that game. Drake May tends to scramble up the middle more than he does up the edge. I mean, off to the side and whatnot. And with a dude like Leonard Williams holding down the fort in the front, that kind of makes it more difficult, especially when the edges that Seattle have can fly to the ball. Like, this is like everybody talks about Sam Darnold doing what he's doing. We forget DeMarcus Lawrence left Dallas to go to Seattle.
Yep.
Like, DeMarcus Lawrence is
pretty much rejuvenated his career. But let's swing back into, we'll talk a little bit more NFL action as we get out of the show. Let's talk about the NBA trade deadline. So I got the final numbers for you, TJ. You ready? If you had to guess, how many players were traded between the start of the, I guess since trades were available to now, to today, how many players do you think were traded?
Well, let's see. This are we?
We're including Trae Young.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, are we including like some stuff that happened like way before, like anything of significance happened way before that?
I mean, just the Trae Young trade. I don't think anything else has happened.
I didn't think so. Including Trey Young, and he was traded for CJ McCollum and
And something else.
some,
Corey
yeah,
Kispert.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure it was Corey Kispert.
all in. I'm gonna say about. This is probably a shot in the dark. I mean, way off. I'm gonna say like 40, 45 players.
You're actually very low. Not very low, but so 67 players were traded between the Trae Young trade and the final trade deadline here today. Over 20 plus transactions went down over the last a couple months here in the National Basketball Association.
And
Also,
that's not including players who get traded and then like immediately traded again. Like
I think it does.
it does
At
it.
least the internet seems to think so. So, also welcome into the show, Mr. Israel Rivera. Welcome to the show, man. I know you're driving to the gym, so we gotta give you your thoughts
Like
here.
you gotta do like Mike Conley, who got traded to Chicago
Twice.
and then got traded again. So like that counts.
Yes.
To Charlotte. That counts. Damn.
Yeah. So, 67 players in total. Pretty busy NBA trade deadline. If you had to describe the 2026 NBA trade deadline with just one word, what's that one word?
Finally, we're going in a direction, baby.
That's more than one word.
Yes, sir. Finally, you know what? We've come on this show for the last 5 years, and it's like been talking so much shit about how this Bulls front office is content with being in NBA purgatory, and we've come on this show, griped and complained about how we're just not moving the needle. We're tired of being in the play-in game, and we've all concurred, we've all agreed that we just need to pick a direction, whether we're gonna go all in or we're just gonna tank. And finally, we have come down to the conclusion that we're just gonna tank. And I am so happy as a Bulls fan. I am so happy that we are tanking and we are going in a direction and we are going to suck for the next few years, and that's going to get us top 3 draft picks because we still own our draft pick this year. We still own our draft picks for the next, whatever some-odd year, all our draft picks for the next some-odd years. So I'm happy. I know TJ's happy. And David, you should be happy too, because yes.
I can't sit here and say I'm happy.
I would say happy because based on the return on investment, I will get to it. We talk about the worst value.
We understand that. We understand return on investment. There's none of those guys. Well, we know that there was little value in like Vucevic. There was like no value, like at that point, like
let's just put it this way, real quick, okay? Because like I'm kind of teasing here what my worst value is. It's all the Bulls trades that they've made over the last 2 seasons. So first of all, you take Caruso, Vucevic, Levine, DeRozan, and Kobe Wright. Okay, you take those 5 players. Their return on those 5 players is Josh Giddey, Jaden Ivey, Chris Duarte, Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Noah Essenway, and Usman Dwang, and 6 second-round picks. You didn't even get a single first-round pick for any of those guys. They held onto their players for way too long, and they created all their value. It's malpractice, and it wouldn't be tolerated in any other fan base. But for some reason, the Bulls were like,
it's tolerated with us. Yeah,
Wait, hold on, Izzy. How do you know it's tolerated with Bulls fans, David?
It's not tolerated.
Where did you see Bulls fans are happy with how
is he some content with what the Bulls have done over the last?
He's content with them blowing shit up.
Yeah,
that is not the same, bro.
I totally agree. I totally agree with you, David. I'm not. I do see that Bulls fans.
It's front office malpractice. It's front office malpractice.
You're nothing you said. Everything you said is 100% correct. But I think that Bulls fans. There are a lot of Bulls fans that are pissed off they didn't get first-round draft picks for the players that they had in the last 2 years. But you know what? God damn it! We have to go in a direction. Like I said, I think Bulls fans need to realize that this is the only and the right thing to do. This is the only and the right thing to do.
But they did it 2 years too late.
That is true.
No, here's the thing with that. So it's like, we didn't get any first round picks. Who the hell was worth the first round pick?
That's true too.
If he had traded Vucevic 2 years ago, you could have forgotten a first round pick for him.
So no, you couldn't have.
Yes, you could have.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, David. Here's the thing, though, David. Do you not remember?
The Bulls decided to stand pat
If there
constantly,
was a
and
But
no,
they
like David,
because do you
like,
not
no, if
and
there
remember?
not
was a
and not
no,
and
no, no,
not, and
no.
not getting a first round pick for
No,
Kobe
If
White too.
if
David,
there
David,
was
no,
if there
David. Do
was
you
a
not?
deal to be made, David, they would have made it. Like you're not
Do
gonna
you
Yeah,
say
not remember?
so.
but
But here it is,
And
though.
also here's the thing. Here's the thing that people aren't really understand. So like what like y'all Dave, because David, you were on this train too. They make the playoffs for the first time in 5 years. What does David say? Trade everybody. Do you really wanted to see the reaction that AK would have gotten had he traded the pieces away that ended a 5 year playoff drought? Do
Wait.
you
Hold on,
really
though.
want to see that?
TJ, though. Hold on, TJ, though. But he said two. Okay, David. What you are right. We should have traded like somebody to get a first round when Vooch was valuable. But you got to remember though, AK's thinking 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we were for a small smidgen of time. If we could have got Lonzo back healthy, we were number one seed for like
uh,
30 games or so, right? And our team was humming.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But
You
it just
know,
So like
it's
so once again, it's like if you're AK, you put the pieces in place. They end a 5 year playoff drought. Granted, like now, mind you, like they get bounced in 5 games to Milwaukee, but the goal wasn't the championship that year anyway. The goal was exactly what it was: make the playoffs. Unfortunately, you ran into a better team, and who knows what would have happened had you got out of the first round.
in Milwaukee.
Can you really imagine?
my one
Can
word
you
for this NBA trade deadline is interesting. I think there's a bunch of just interesting moves
Interesting trades, yeah.
that were made throughout this trade deadline
I'm
where I'm
gonna
just like,
my
I'm
Absolutely.
one
like,
word
huh. Like it's,
my one word incomplete. It was too many big names floated around
yeah.
that absolutely nothing happened. John Morant garnered no interest because he's not worth the headache that he possibly creates. Giannis, to Izzy's point in the group chat, talked all that shit about wanting a new home, evaluating this, that, and the third. To he tweeting out the snippet from Wolf
Wolf
of
on
Wall
Wall
Street.
Street.
I'm not going
Yeah.
anywhere. Like, bro, you want it out. Like, just own that shit. You want it out. It is what it like.
Right.
Like you want
the,
it out. It
Well,
is what
no,
it
man,
no,
is.
no. Here it goes, TJ. The reason why Giannis.
the honest situation really just like at some point they have to be like, we're not going anywhere. We're under like he's hurt. I think if Giannis was healthy
If
today, he probably would have been
Like
traded.
James
But
Harden
I'm
getting
not
out of.
mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, though, David, in a sign and trade now in the off season, if they do sign and trade him, he can only get the max instead of now he's got to play nice to get that super max with
I guess
Milwaukee.
I don't really
He gets 200 million instead of 280. What a
I don't really know exactly how that works, but I was actually more talking about them signing somebody and trading Giannis's contract to
because
wherever
like
they want.
and
Because
that's the
they don't
thing,
have
and that's
I
the
they
know,
don't
thing,
I
have
David.
know,
cap.
I know,
That's
but
the thing. That's
now
the thing,
now
David.
that they're
Because
kind of playing with his money, though, they kind of play with his money a little bit, and now he's like, oh
because
well,
Giannis is under contract for 2 more seasons. He's got a player option for that second season after this one, so he's gonna play. He was gonna play for Milwaukee regardless next season, anyways. Like, but
And
yeah, but
like
I
then
think
he
Milwaukee is the only team that can offer him
But
the
I think that if he gets traded, his right like before I don't know.
he goes,
some
legends
language in
don't
his
chase.
contract.
Legends don't chase, they attract what? More roster spots for your brothers
Ain't no,
that could
ain't no,
actually go to people who could
ain't
like
pop.
nobody coming to
this,
Milwaukee, cuz.
this Milwaukee team is just dead to rights, and like we'll talk about him here in a minute. Let's talk about winners. Let's start on the positive side of the NBA trade deadline. I'm gonna start first, and I got the Washington Wizards actually as a winner.
Getting Anthony Davis, Trae
I
Young.
like
Why?
getting Trae Young, Anthony Davis, partnering with Alex Sarr. You don't have to give up shit to get either of those guys that really matters. I mean, you gave up 2 first-round picks that are basically like second-round pick for Anthony Davis, and CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert for Trae Young is just highway ransom. And then you add them to like some nice pieces there for what the Washington Wizards. They're a winner. They're like they're. I don't think
They
Anthony
ain't
Davis and
won.
Trae Young. I don't think either of those two guys play for them this season. But like, look how nice
Nah.
they made me.
They ain't
Look how,
won shit till they actually start winning shit.
I got them as a winner. I think, given what they gave up to get those two guys,
We've said this
I,
before.
I think it's. I think it's
We've been
because at
saying
the
this about
same time,
Washington for
we know what
years.
Trae Young is. We know what Anthony Davis is.
Yeah, he's
Those are
a
tangible players.
You know who I gotta have as a winner? The Utah Jazz. Because getting Jaren Jackson and not trading like Laurie Markkinen, Keontae George, Isaiah Collier,
Walker Kessler.
the Walker
Yeah.
Kessler, Ace Bailey, like keeping all your young pieces and adding like one of the premier shot blocker, got stretch, fives that is young still, and Jaron Jackson. I really like what Utah's kind of building there. They just got to learn how to win now with all those pieces. But I think I mentioned it. I think I said they're like the Orlando of the West, in my opinion, right now. I mean,
Until like
they had an uphill battle, kind of,
mm,
you got a bunch of young teams in OKC and the Spurs that are good now, so it's like, okay, that's the movement, but I like the bones right now of the Utah Jazz. Right now, still got Cody Williams, right? Who's, I mean, still kind of fine. I mean, I mean, if you don't, he's on that Patrick Will trajectory. I ain't gonna lie to you, but he shows us. No, no, no. TJ knows what I'm talking about, right? He's on that P Will trajectory in a way. He
who?
came out.
Wait,
He
wait, wait,
came out.
wait. Who?
Cody
Who?
Williams.
Who? Who?
Cody Williams. Cody Williams.
He's on a
At
what
least Cody
trajectory?
P Will trajectory in a way.
Well,
Yeah,
I can't say that because this is
he's
Cody
actually shown us some
Williams.
shit though. In second year,
This is year two for Cody. This like
And
literally like this is
I also
literally
like
his second
so
year.
the Grizzlies also the Utah Jazz take very little risk in that trade because
absolutely.
they didn't trade any of their own first round picks, so they traded away a
Nope.
2027 first rounder, most favorable between Cleveland, Minnesota, and Utah. So and then the 2027 Lakers first rounder, top four protected, and then they gave up a 2031 first rounder for Phoenix. I mean, that could be a pretty valuable asset, but
Ah,
given Phoenix and the history with Phoenix Suns basketball. Sorry, Matt James. I mean, no, you're not getting free agents to come to Utah. If you wanted to
nah.
improve your roster, you have to do it through a trade, and that's
Yes. In a draft. Yep.
TJ. You got a winner for us? Come on.
um yeah, no, I don't. I really don't. Matter of fact, I got
I feel that.
individual.
I feel that.
I got individual winners. I mean,
I feel
I
that.
got I got individual winners. I got Kobe White as a winner. I got Nikola
Oh, for
Vucevic
sure.
as a winner. I got Ayo Dosunmu as a winner.
For
I
sure.
got I got Kevin Herter for get, as a winner for getting the fuck
For
out of
sure.
Chicago.
For sure.
Like I got those dudes as winners. Kobe White might like he's a winner because he got out. Like he might enjoy success in Charlotte. He might not. Charlotte at least has a core. They have a direction that they're going. That direction,
Mm,
that core just has to one, stay healthy, and two, somehow stay together.
mm.
LaMelo, he been in trade talks for a minute. He been in trade talks for a minute. What's his name? Brandon Miller has come a long way since that situation in Alabama. You don't really hear about it no more. Con
Yeah,
Kneppel
Yeah.
is
that's true.
Con Kneppel would literally be first place for rookie of the year if it wasn't for his
Any
own
other
For
year,
Cooper Flag.
any other
Any
if it
other
year.
wasn't
year.
for
Any
Cooper
other year,
Flag, because
bro.
Con
Right.
Kneppel, like he is out
He
there
balling.
balling. Like if it wasn't for Cooper Flag, Con Kneppel would probably be the leading vote getter for rookie of the year. I'm missing some. Miles Bridges is like he done found a home, and now you add like now if you're Kobe White, you have to find out where you fit in to
He
that
coming
because
he coming off
if
the
I'm
bench.
that's what I'm saying. Like if you're Kobe White, like bro, like that 6 man role is like it's perfect.
Solidified with you. Yeah, for
It's
him, yeah.
perfect for you. Um, those like I have. I mean, I think every trade deadline we have way more losers than winners because like the teams that you expect to make moves don't make moves. Like Milwaukee loser.
Well,
Um,
I got a couple more winners, but
you got more winners. Who?
yeah,
I gotta hear this.
I got three more winners. So
Who?
I got the Memphis Grizzlies as a winner. I think pulling the plug on this at the right time and getting actual draft assets for Jaren Jackson Jr. I know that we just talked about how the picks aren't that valuable, but it's still. And then you have Desmond Bain, who you got four first round picks for this offseason. They
Mm.
have a plethora of draft capital now. They have one first round pick in 2026. They have one in 2027, 28. They got two in 29. 3 picks in 2030. They have 3 picks in 2031 and 2 picks in 2032 as well. Like they've done a good job of pulling the plug when it was appropriate. It's unfortunate they were unable to trade John Morant this trade deadline. I think that would make them a home run winner. But when you realize that, like, hey, our team's not going anywhere, let's cut our losses when it's appropriate, as opposed to like rolling this out for season upon season. I like the Memphis Grizzlies as a winner. I also like the Oklahoma City Thunder as a winner. Getting Jared McCain for the draft, the cap. I know he got hurt last season. He hasn't been great this season coming back off that injury, but he was real good for the Philadelphia 76ers in his rookie season, and probably would have won Offensive Rookie of the Year if he hadn't gotten hurt. But that's a good piece to add to a team that's kind of been stagnant a little bit over the last couple months or so. But they're no longer in the run for that Warriors record and all that noise. But that's pretty good value there. And I have the Clippers actually as a winner too. I mean, getting Darius Garland, who's 10 years younger than James Harden, I think that's a home run for the Los Angeles Clippers. And then that sneaky Zubac pick, that potentially they're going to, because they don't have a first round pick in this draft. Their first round pick in this draft goes to the Oklahoma City Thunder. So now they don't have to necessarily worry about not having a first round pick in this draft, because they have that little window where the protections on that pick is super interesting for the Indiana Pacers, right? So it's protected for the first 4 picks, and then it's protected from 10 to the rest of the draft, right? So they have an opportunity. That pick lands at 5. It lands at 5 or 6 or 7. That's pretty good value.
David, hey, I ain't trying to cut you off, but bro, Jaden Ivey just got here and he started. How terrible is Patrick Williams that you can't start over a motherfucker that literally just got to the team?
Oh man, dude,
are you that terrible?
I like Jaden Ivey in Chicago.
I like Jaden Ivey coming out of Purdue. I was kind of hoping the Bulls, like he would fall to the Bulls when he was in the draft. I wanted that to happen, and
I got a winner.
We just so happen.
Yeah, but those are my 4 winners for this year.
I got a winner. I got a winner. Jonathan Kuminga.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Jonathan Kuminga for finally getting out that damn situation in Golden State, playing under Steve Kerr, and going to Atlanta. He's gonna get a ton of tick in Atlanta. And he's actually gonna grow as a player there. And I have my gripes about how Steve Kerr develops young talent. He just doesn't do it.
We are in the same boat that now there's 2 players, 2 high draft picks now that we can ask questions about Steve Kerr. Like, bro, like, was there ever really a plan? Like, was there a plan with
James Wiseman?
Was there a plan with Jonathan Kuminga? Because now you're looking at it and it's like what's the plan with Podziemski? Like where's he at with his development? Like he's probably further along because Podziemski actually fucking plays. Like, I don't know if Jonathan Kuminga said something, if he
got in that doghouse real bad.
And it was easy. And I think the thing with Wiseman when he was there, like I said it, like the thing that kind of screwed him over was he was a young player on a win now roster. Like the only reason they got James Wiseman is because Steph was hurt for a year and Clay was hurt for a year, and it was Draymond and the Island of the Misfit Toys, and we saw how that shit went. Draymond got like quote unquote real exposed because Steph Curry and Clay weren't hitting them shots, and he was out there giving mugs 5, 5, and 4. And
you're getting thrown out with technicals once a week.
You're getting thrown out with technicals, and like I said, and James, those guys come back. It's almost like, hey, we're gonna pick up right where we left off. And James Wiseman is thrusted into a situation where, like, we ain't got time to hold your hand, partner. Like, this is like, come on now, this is a championship caliber roster, and we need you to pick up what's being put down fast. Can we move on to losers, or do y'all have some
swing in? I got nothing else on the winner side. I got a bunch of losers though. TJ, you want to go first with the losers?
Yeah, obviously, we're gonna continue to talk about at length, but the Bulls are a loser. The Cavs, I can't I don't know about the Cavs. It's
Those were my
like no,
losers
like
too, TJ. Go ahead, bro.
all right. So like,
Listen. So James Harden is having a better season than Darius Garland is having right
He
now.
is right.
no,
And
yeah, and that's not
but
but at the same point, like that's expected. Like we not finna sit here and act like James Harden. The minute he hang him up, he ain't walking
yeah,
into the hall, bro.
yeah, that's
Like come
true.
on. So like I think the thing with Cleveland is they sped up they sped up their window because now you have to convince James Harden to somehow want to stay in Cleveland. Like obviously, like
I don't think Cleveland makes that trade unless there's already a handshake deal with James Harden.
well, check it out though. So like Stephen A. Smith kind of kickstarted this. He's like, hey, LeBron should if he's gonna have his swan song, it should be where he means the most, and
In Cleveland, yeah.
he means the most in Cleveland. And if you're Darius Garland, if you're Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, what better way to hey man, like we can make we can make a run for it, but you got to come. Like you got to come back to the crib. We ain't gonna really need you to just keep giving us that 20 to 22 a game. You ain't got to facilitate much. That's gonna be James's role, so on and so forth. Um,
We've seen he
I
could play off ball though, you know,
He can play
over the
off ball.
years.
I
Yeah.
think the Orlando Magic are a loser. I would have loved to have seen them make a roster to push them ahead in the right direction. Like you said, Memphis, you move off Jaren, but you're stuck with Ja. That's terrible. Milwaukee, loser, blow that shit up. Um,
I think that it goes further than just Milwaukee, though. I think
no, I
another
won't.
loser is the entire National Basketball Association. We have Giannis now being stuck on that Bucks team. It's bad for
Yeah.
it's bad for basketball as a whole, more than just the
Yeah.
Bucks.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
I agree on that.
In my opinion, the NBA should have stepped in and facilitated a trade. They should have found a way to make that trade happen. Like they should have been like, "Hey, for the greater good of the overall product, we're gonna take Giannis off your team and we're gonna give you some stuff for him."
We're gonna put him somewhere. We're
Yeah.
gonna put him in fucking Golden State and trade
Yeah.
Jimmy and all those and
Yeah, like
Draymond and whoever else.
this experiment in Milwaukee is over. Like it's been fun, but
uh,
I do like what you said about Cleveland though, because I was thinking about the same thing,
yeah,
TJ. You know,
I'm
bringing Harden and stuff that's gonna only attract LeBron James. Obviously,
I think
he's not
also
beyond
we have to
LA.
address the huge elephant in the room here. The Dallas Mavericks have to be a loser here.
yeah,
Like
Oh,
100%.
you
That's not even
you
an
turn
elephant, David.
you
That's not
you
even an
turn
elephant, David.
you turn Luka Doncic into all right, a 2026 Thunder first round pick, a 2029 Laker first round pick, a protected Warriors pick in 2030, a Suns second round pick in 2026, a Bulls second round pick, a Rockets second round pick, Maxi Christie, Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, who I do kind of think has some upside still, Malachi Brandon, and Marvin Bagley III. That and you don't get the benefit of the doubt the fact that you got in the lottery because of that trade and ended up with Cooper Flag because the NBA wanted to throw you a little bit of a bone, as Izzy likes to point out.
They did throw him a bone.
It is. Nico Harris is fired. Everything, and then if you're Kyrie Irving, you got to be a huge loser. You're out rehabbing of an injury while your team is crumbling around you. Like it's just like.
Well, here's the thing though. Here's the thing. The Dallas Mavericks. What if they end up, TJ, with
Mm.
like Darren Peterson or Boozer's
I don't
kid,
even think they own
or
their own pick next year. This offseason.
well, I don't know how the picks are looking. I'm not sure. I would assume that they probably do. I'm not sure, but
Well,
if they were able to get one of those guys
Yeah,
and then pay them,
they do have their own pick this year, so they'll
buddy,
have.
buddy. So TJ, that gets really interesting, right? So he said, Kyrie Irving. What if you're able to get Darren Peterson and you get thrown a bone twice because John, you got a middling freaking GM who's no longer there, who was just all out of his damn league with doing this damn trade for Luka Doncic. Why not? Why not us? NBA just throws you two bones and gives you Darren Peterson coming into this draft. Can you imagine Darren Peterson, Cooper Flag, and then Kyrie Irving? Now you're talking about like the luck of the god of basketball gods here, because that is like any other that is a complete shit show. Any other franchise would have said, "Damn, we might as well sell the team to Seattle at this point because this is the whole franchise start over. You
So like,
lose Luka Doncic, you trade for Anthony Davis. He's no longer on your team the next season. Are you kidding me? That's
Yeah.
crazy."
yeah,
I got two. I got two other losers as well. I got the Atlanta Hawks as a loser,
yeah.
just because of the way that this season has gone. Because the Atlanta Hawks were like one of those dark
No,
horse
like
teams that
it's the whole thing.
everybody in the offseason was talking about the Atlanta Hawks. They're like, hey, like this team probably is going to be pretty good, a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. You're sitting at 9, and you became sellers at the trade deadline. Who could have seen that coming? I just
Who would have thought the duo of DeJounte Murray and Trey Young would amount to absolutely nothing? Oh yeah, we
Nothing.
did.
Well, I mean, they did get some semi-valuable Pelicans picks out of
It's
DeJounte
like, oh yeah,
Murray,
we
but
did.
I don't even know where DeJounte Murray's playing basketball right now. Is he still in? Like, where?
New Orleans, I think. Like,
I'm
I
so
don't
I
know.
was I'm so glad though the Bulls didn't listen to my inner thoughts and trade for Zion Williamson because then we'd be still stuck in NBA purgatory. So yeah,
And my
TJ's
other
kind of right on that.
my other loser is the Golden State Warriors. I'll get to it when we talk about head scratching, but the decision to trade for Kristaps Porzingis is just baffling to me. Like it doesn't. He barely plays, and like that's the guy who's gonna maybe take you to it. It's you should have just held on to Kuminga. He's under contract for one more season. It doesn't make any sense.
No, he had to go. He had to go. Like it was.
Yeah, but and for him, it's great. But if you're a front office and they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll give you Porzingis," there had to have been a better offer on the table. I honestly, I don't know that for sure, but
Another loser is Billy Donovan for having to work with incompetent front office. AK is making Garpax look like a genius right now.
At least Garpax was willing to take swings at shit. It just didn't work all the time. Like,
another loser,
just stand pat forever in the NBA. Like it's just
another loser, Steve Ballmer. Poor Steve Ballmer. You bought the Clippers, and then you
build a palace.
You build a palace, and then you make home run swing after home run swing. You make three home run swings. Kawhi Leonard, home run swing. Paul George, home run swing. James Harden, home run swing. And you got nothing out of it.
Only one of those guys is still on the roster.
And who would have thought it? Who would have? And that guy is also being investigated for some stuff that we're not going to get into on here.
You know what's interesting? So I watch a lot of NBA YouTubers. There is a rumor going around that the reason that James Harden requested that trade, which kind of came out of nowhere, because the Clippers are 17-3 in their last 20 games or something like that.
Highest team in the league.
There is a rumor going around that Kawhi Leonard is going to get suspended here in the next couple of weeks. And that's the reason that James Harden was like, hey, I want out of here.
That's interesting. That's real interesting.
And that is just a rumor. So I don't know. That's just something I heard through the grapevine. But it would explain why the trade request kind of came out of the blue.
I mean, so here's the thing. Like, he gets traded, and the first thing he comes out and says is, I didn't demand the trade. Like, he said that. He whether you believe it or not is your own prerogative. Like, right? Like, you can take it at face value if you want to, but history is actually not on James Harden's side in this situation, because we've seen him in situations where they are no longer beneficial to him. He forces his way out, and like, the only difference with this one is he didn't have to force the issue. We saw when he wanted out of Houston, he literally did not work out. he didn't work out. Like we saw the before and afters of James Harden demanding a trade. Tillman Fertitta said no, and James Harden shows up 20 pounds overweight. He still dropped 40 on somebody, which was like, goddamn. But then, like, that season, he gets traded to, I think it was Brooklyn. And then Brooklyn falls apart with the whole vaccine thing with Kyrie Irving, and James Harden says, I'm not putting up with this shit. He gets traded to Philly. Philly falls apart. and he goes to the Clippers, and now here he is in Cleveland, and he says he didn't demand a trade. You can take it or leave it.
I
It
don't
is
buy
what
it.
it is.
Anybody got any other losers?
It's like you said, like a lot of people aren't buying it. Do I have another loser? I would I would say Toronto, but like Toronto's like, hey, we're like third or fourth in the East, currently constructed. Let's see.
Actually, they've slipped all the way to 6.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, I see it now. I see it now. So like, they're six. All right, so it's like, all
Well, I
right,
mean,
so
they're only separated by a game between the 4 and the 8, so you know.
all right, so it's like we win 2 games in a row. We're back and forth. Like, yeah, like Toronto could easily be like, hey, let's see what we are currently constructed, and this summer we'll figure some shit out. Um, I Yeah, I think that's it. That's pretty much all my losers.
Let's
Right
talk
now.
about best value. I got 2 best value. One of them I think is Chris Paul to the Raptors. Just just to get a veteran presence there in Toronto.
He's not
He
even
kind
gonna
of
show up. He's not
you
even
don't think
showing
so?
up.
You don't think
Hell
so?
no, no.
I think he plays for them.
No. They
I mean,
literally came up. They literally came out and said when that trade happened, we don't expect Chris Paul to play.
Okay. I will then go to my other option. I think Jose Alvarado going to the New York Knicks is a really solid
Okay,
value.
actually like that.
Dalen Terry, from New York to him, and then 2 second-round picks with cash considerations. Because Jose Alvarado kind of does the stuff that Jalen Brunson doesn't do, and I think they're a good complement to each other. We obviously probably can't play them together because they'd be a pretty tiny backcourt. But Jose Alvarado gets to go back to like where he's from, the New York area. I'm sure the reception when he gets into Madison Square Garden the first time he checks in is going to be incredible. I think that's sneaky value, and I think you didn't have to give up a lot, and I think that guy will add something to your basketball team.
Yeah, I like that. I like Zubac to the Pacers. I think that could be a sneaky move. Obviously, that's what you call a next.
I think it depends. I think
No,
if
like
they
that's a next year move. That's what you call a next year
I
move.
agree with you, but I think if you lose that first round pick because you traded for Zubac, I just because I have that as my most shocking trade. It's not the fact that they traded for him; it's what they gave up to get him. I mean,
Benedict Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, and 2 firsts.
It's that first round pick, the one that's protected all weird this season. If I was the Indiana Pacers and the season the way your season is going, there's no way in hell I'm trading away a semi unprotected first round pick in this year's draft. Like there's a lot of if that pick falls at 5, you lose it. It doesn't make any. Zubac is probably going to be better than whoever they would have taken at 5 next season, but we're talking about 3 seasons from now. Is that still going to be the case? I doubt it.
I don't know either. Where we at? Best value? Oh, we still have best value. What going back to the very beginning, if he can, I don't even say AD because AD is what he is at this point. Like he probably gonna give you, he gonna give you 50 games if you're lucky, and he's good in those 50 games. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be good. He gonna be 18 and 12, 20 and 12, 20 and 11. But if the Wizards can get Trae Young to still be the double machine that he is, like to being completely fair, is he a defensive liability? 100%. If he scores 25, guess what? The guard he playing against gonna get 25 too because that's just what it is. But what that
I feel like that's what makes that Washington Wizards scenario so interesting, really, because you have Alex Sarr and Anthony Davis. I mean, those 2 guys are excellent defenders, and yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Like it's just the thing with Washington is, like I said earlier, like we've been saying the same stuff. Like we've been saying it about Washington. We've been saying it about Orlando. We said it about Detroit prior to last year. Like you have all this young talent. Eventually, goddamn it, the glue has to stick. eventually it has to come together and it has to fucking look like something. So if you're Washington, I you have to like, especially if you're a Wizards fan, like you have to be like, hey, like at some point in time, we can't just keep accruing like young player after young player and not get nothing. Like you had Alex Sarr, like you said, like just last year, just the last couple of years, you get Alex Sarr, you get Bilal Coulibaly, who they're still waiting on. Like he was, I know Wemby tried to sell him as like the second best player in the draft behind himself. Like, dude, we're not buying it. We weren't buying it then. We ain't buying it now. Keyshawn George is a stud. I like him. They
Trey
got they
Johnson,
got
the kid from
yeah
Texas.
yeah him, and then they got Buddy from Illinois, Will Richard.
And on top of that, I mean, they're going to have a top 5 pick, depending on how the bouncing balls go. In this draft, you're adding another player, and you have 2 veteran guys. I'm with you. I think the Wizards did all the deals that the Wizards made, I think, are really good value. They didn't give up anything valuable to get either of those 2 guys.
Yeah, nothing of significance. And
if it doesn't work out, I mean, you just basically you don't extend Trey Young. You're probably going to be semi stuck with Anthony Davis, but because he's still making a shit ton of money for the next couple of seasons. But I mean, the Wizards. I love what the Wizards did in this trade deadline because you never know with the lottery balls and the way things fall out. I mean, they've been the worst team in the NBA, and they have not gotten the first overall pick in any of those drafts.
Alex Sarr won first overall?
No, he was 3rd, I think, in that draft because I think it was because what's his name from because Reed Shepard went 2, and then what's his name? What's the name of the kid in Atlanta?
Riche. Zachary.
He was number 1.
He
I'm
was
pretty sure Reed Shepard went 2, and then I think Alex Sarr went 3.
Sarr went 2. Yeah, Sarr. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, 2024. Riche went 1. Sarr went 2.
Okay. Yes, Alex.
And
I
then
don't flipped, but
Reed Shepard went third, and Stephon Castle 4th, Ron Holland 5th. Charlotte Hornets took a dude from France who's probably still. No, he's on the roster now. He just doesn't. Does he not play, or he in the G League?
Is that the guy the Bulls just traded for?
No.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Anyways, but yeah, I think that those are best value. Let's talk about the other side of this, the worst value. I kind of touched on it a little bit towards the little of the intro. We were talking about the Bulls. I think everything the Bulls did was just terrible value. And I know it makes sense to blow this team up and like restart, but I just think that I got to think there was better trades offered on the table, and I just don't like any of the Bulls trades. And I do like kind of getting Colin Sexton, Jaden Ivey, I think is interesting. From I would have kept the kid that they traded for the from the Hornets. That's the center that's kind of pretty young still. Was a former lottery pick of the Thunder a few years ago. I probably would have kept him. I know they redirected him somewhere else after that trade.
They redirected him, and they got Nick Richards from Phoenix, who is like he's a legit big. And on a team that doesn't have any bigs.
Yeah. But yeah, the Bulls for me are the worst value. I don't think they managed this whole process well.
My issue outside of the Bulls is it's the national coverage of the Bulls. Like, this is probably the only time the Bulls are going to get talked about in the national media, and it's to mock them. It's literally to mock them. Like, that's what's going to happen. But the people on First Take can get up there, and they're probably going to spend 20 minutes on why Luke Kennard makes the Lakers a contender because he can shoot, and so on and so forth, and not completely ignoring that this is a storied franchise that was turned into a storied franchise because one guy fell into the laps of the worst owner and now the worst owner in basketball. If Jerry Reinsdorf didn't luck up into Michael Jordan, he would legit be the worst owner in the NBA.
He might be the worst owner in all professional sports. Let's be real.
No, I can't say that. I can't.
Maybe not.
I can't,
Maybe not.
I
Maybe
can't,
not.
we can't say that because
I
we
mean,
can't say that because
Daniel Snyder was all the dude who
Daniel
was the owner
Snyder,
of the Phoenix Suns.
Snyder was terrible. The owner
He might be
pre-match
the worst owner that wasn't a creep. Like,
I said that in the group chat. Like he's the worst owner that wasn't a creep, and then until some shit about Jimmy Haslam comes out with the Browns. Like it's terrible. Like that. This is where we're at, and this again. This is the frustrating thing. Like as Bulls fans, because it's like the only one that's gonna tear them apart is Bulls media and the fans. Like this is where national media has to come in and put this in a bigger spotlight. And I'm not saying that because I want the Bulls to be talked about more. I'm saying that because it has to fucking happen. Like we sat for years.
We're the
No.
Chicago Bulls. We're the top 3 market in the United States, and yet
We sat, David. We sat for years and watched ESPN complain how the Lakers were terrible the last few years with Kobe Bryant. We sat there and watched for years how they said no one wants to come to the Lakers, how the draft picks are like they're having bad luck with the draft picks. They were supposed to get the first overall pick. They get 7 and get Julius Randle. Then Lonzo Ball turns out to not be it. Like especially in the same draft class with De'Aaron Fox, so on and so Bi gets traded away early, so on and so forth. Yeah, this is the Bulls. Like, yeah, I need the national media, somebody, not name Michael Wilbon because he's the only one. Why? Because he's a Chicago product. Yeah. He doesn't count. So I need somebody to talk about like, hey, this new AK Artunis Karnisovas, the only draft pick you've had that's worth a damn since you've been in charge is Miles Buzelis. Patrick Williams sucks. Dalen Terry no longer on the team. He sucked anyway. I don't expect him to get any better.
I mean, he did have a Kobe White eventually.
Kobe White wasn't even his. That was the last Garpax pick.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, the Bulls. Yeah, that's worse value right there. Let's talk about shocking trade. For me, the most shocking trade I kind of touched on it earlier. This Zubac to the Pacers trade, and I understand that Zubac may make them better next season. And when I first heard about this trade, I'm like, okay, all right, yeah, cool. And then I looked into the draft capital that they gave up in this trade, and I just don't really like it. I don't like giving up a potential first-round pick in this upcoming draft.
So you strictly just hate it because of what they gave up.
Yeah, I think he's going to be good for them. I just don't really like. This is a very deep. What I've heard, anyways. I don't really watch a ton of college basketball, but what I've heard is that this is a very deep draft. And if you're going to give up the 5th overall pick in this draft, like, why wouldn't you just protect this for the entire lottery? You think that would have been all of a sudden a deal breaker for the Clippers? No, they need draft capital. They need to have future assets. They don't have any right now.
I say yes, because while it is a deep class, we're not going to sit here and act like the talent in the top 5 will be the same as the talent at 15 or at 10 or 15 or 20 or 25. So like right now, Steve Ballmer is being greedy. Let's call it what it is. Like, hey, I want a first, and I want it to be a top 5 pick. I don't want top 10. I don't want top 15. I want it top 5. I want it. I got it. And I mean, like, well, I ain't gonna say he got it because nothing's guaranteed, but the chances of it being top 5 are pretty high.
and then the other pick is a 2029 completely unprotected first-round pick. And yes, you're going to get Tyrese Halliburton back, but I mean, there's an opportunity. There's a chance there that maybe he just doesn't come back as the same player. And in 2029, this is not a
Well, I
good
mean, like
basketball team. I do.
by
I,
2029, by 2029, like again, I'm sorry to cut you off. Like I think that what Pacer fans and himself and Tyrese Halliburton have to brace for, like, is that first year back. I I think that's what messed Derrick Rose up coming off that torn ACL.
well,
Like
he's coming off an Achilles tear, which is a whole
but like
nother.
yeah, that's a whole nother ball game. But the point I'm getting at is the overcompensation, like the trying to prove that I'm still the same player I was prior to this significant injury,
But I
right?
will say on top of that, I think Zubac is on a pretty team friendly contract. So I think if
Mhm,
this doesn't necessarily work out, I mean he's got 2
mhm.
years on his contract after this one at basically $20 million per season. I mean he's a very easily movable contract if you want to try to
Yeah.
get some value for him later. And he's 28. He kind of fits the timeline of the rest of this roster. It just I was just shocked with the draft capital they gave up in this trade, but you know.
Yeah, like
Uh,
Bennett, the draft compensation didn't shock me as much as Benedict Mathurin being a part of the deal did.
Well, I mean, they needed something to facilitate the money work. Like they couldn't exactly just take on his contract without giving something else up. And Benedict Mathurin has an expiring deal that I imagine they're not going to want to pick up for the remainder of the season. I like him in Cleveland or in Los Angeles. I think he's going to be interesting there.
Yeah, I'm like he's in, like I don't say he in the same boat with Kuminga in terms of
Well,
like like
I think the difference is that Benedict Mathurin has been hurt on occasion, like where Kaminga was just
not
doghouse
playing.
and
Like
never
yeah.
got out of it. You got a shocking trade though.
Uh the Jaren Jackson trade kind of shocked me. Um like yeah, I can't even stop, bro. Like when they came out and said that Cedric Coward and I forgot who else they named were gonna be like the cornerstones of this team. I'm all like, that don't say Ja Morant and Jaren like that. No, that does not say that. So that just gives me cause to pause to think that maybe Ja is a off season move. Like maybe he gets moved this summer. Like
I think so too.
I don't think Memphis is done.
I was pretty shocked I wasn't necessarily shocked that Jaren Jackson Jr. got traded. It's where he got traded that was pretty surprising to me.
That too. So like who and where? I saw a tweet and it shouldn't have made me laugh because it was fucking hilarious. Like mind you, like alcohol is like basically I ain't gonna say prohibited
In
in
Utah?
Utah, but Utah is a pretty dry state, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
So so that being said, like that is a hostile territory, and those people are stone cold sober. Like they are they are 100% sober, and like that's the terrifying part. So Jared Jackson being 16 and 6'11", gonna get 4 or 5 rebounds. The tweet was like he gonna get 4 rebounds and he gonna get called slurs he ain't never heard before. And I'm like, by sober people, I might add. Like those people are gonna be 100% sober when those words are said in the house that Jordan destroyed. Ha. Another shot. Do I have any more shocking trades?
Sorry, we can move on to head scratching because I got
No, yeah, no, go, no.
I got the head scratching.
Go ahead.
It's this Jonathan Kuminga trade for Kristaps Porzingis. And before you start, I understand that the Warriors needed to trade Jonathan Kuminga.
Mhm.
Got it. Understood. You didn't need to trade it for Kristaps Porzingis. This trade makes no sense to me at all. Like he's played 17 games this season. He's only started 12. If he can get healthy, he is an interesting piece on this roster. But the question about Kristaps Porzingis is his availability. He's dealing with POTS, just a neurological disease. It's something he's dealing with. He's
What's it
also
called?
POTS. It stands for something I don't remember what the acronym is. And then he's also dealing with Achilles tendonitis. So yeah, he hasn't played in basically 3 weeks. And you traded away Kuminga for this guy, and Buddy Hield for that matter, who's been solid. He's been fine for you
No, he
this
hasn't.
season.
I'm not even gonna lie to you, David. Like he has not. He has
I mean, he's
not
at 8
been.
points, 2.5 rebounds. He only plays 17 minutes a game, so whatever. That he's literally in the trade just to make the money work because
Like,
Porzingis
there's
is
a
still
reason
making.
he's only averaging 17 minutes a game because it's like, dude, we brought you in here to be a shooter. We brought you in here to be a floor spacer, and you're not doing that. You're not doing that to the level that we need it to be at. And that game that they had the other day, who was it? Who did they play? Steph Curry had literally, was it Detroit? Yeah, it was
Yeah, yeah,
Detroit.
yeah, yeah.
And Steph Curry unfortunately gets hurt.
Yeah,
He doesn't.
knee tendonitis or
Yeah, he doesn't
thumbs
come
or
back in
something.
the game. Yeah, it doesn't come back in the game, and like it's like, but even prior to Curry getting hurt, you're needing Buddy Hield to like, hey, take some of the pressure off of Steph. Like he is seeing bodies. He's seeing Asar Thompson. He's seeing what is it? Jaden Ivey was on them. Like like they are just throwing bodies at him, and it's literally because one, like Jimmy's already out. Like you already know that, but
Yeah,
it's literally everybody else can't hit shot or can't create their own shots. And it's awful. It was awful. Like Buddy Hield has not been good
back to
for
my
the Golden State
original point,
Warriors.
though. I just can't imagine that you put Jonathan Kuminga on the trade block and Porzingis is like the best offer you could get. A player who's young, he's only 23. When he has had moments to play and to like play, he's been pretty good. You remember when Steph Curry got injured in the playoffs last year? I mean, Jonathan Kuminga played pretty damn good in that playoff series against the Houston Rockets. Weren't able to get it done, or I don't remember who they played in the first round last season, but just unable to get it done after Curry went down. This trade makes no sense. It's absolutely perplexing as hell. I just don't understand why you would pick Porzingis as the guy you'd want to pair with Steph Curry for the remainder of this season. It does make sense. He has an expiring contract, so you get out of his money this offseason. But it's not like they're going to be able to replace him with somebody else because they're already over the cap by so much money. Porzingis coming off the books just gets them near the cap. We're close to being able to it makes it's head scratch. I don't get it. This is like when I was driving to work this morning, I was like, I wonder if anybody made a trade in the NBA. And I looked at the trade and I was like, I don't understand why you would trade for Porzingis if you're the Warriors. I would have rather have just kept Kuminga for the remainder of the season, try to trade him in the offseason. Because
I mean, I get
that. I do think it's good for Kuminga. I mean, getting out of Golden State, obviously that situation was not working out for you. He goes to get to Atlanta, who I actually think it's a pretty interesting situation for him for the remainder of the season. Him and Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels and whatever else they got over there for the remainder of the year. But for the Warriors, it just scratching my head, man. I don't get it.
I don't get it's head scratching because one, the state of the Warriors right now and the state of Porzingis right now. If these two teams, if Warriors were healthy and Porzingis wasn't going through what he's going through, you love this deal. You love this trade. You love everything about it. Porzingis is a rim protector and he stretches the floor.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. So like your only trepidations are because one, the Warriors are beat to hell, and Porzingis is going through what he's going through. And to the people out there who made those jokes earlier this year, talking about him having AIDS and whatnot, I hope that there's a special place in hell for all y'all. That's not funny. It wasn't funny then. It wasn't funny a week later. It ain't funny now. Hair scratching. We touched on it. We can keep bringing it up. We can literally make this whole show a Bulls podcast, and it's literally, and I would be perfectly fine with that. And it's literally everything the Bulls did, and if I'm AK, I'm looking at this like if first up, if I was AK, I would 100% throw Jerry Reinsdorf under and over the bus. Like, hey, he told me to build a team that's competitive, but not too competitive, that will keep fans engaged, but won't win it all. Because that's literally the narrative, excuse me, about Jerry Reinsdorf. You don't care. Jerry Reinsdorf does not care about winning. He doesn't. He cares about two things: merchandise sales and revenue. As long as the Bulls are top five in that, Jerry Reinsdorf considers the season a success. Am I wrong, David?
Oh, that's 100% true.
All
No
right.
doubt.
So you make head scratching. You have a team with 12 guards. I'm not even exaggerating a little bit. I'm exaggerating a little bit. It is a lot of guards. So like that tells me like, hey, we're gonna try to play fast, but we're gonna get legit. They're playing the Raptors right now, right? They're playing the smallest dude on the floor for the Raptors. I kid you not, is Emmanuel Quickly, and he's 6'5". Like I kid you not, the smallest dude on the floor for the Raptors is Emmanuel Quickly, and he's 6'5". And going forward, if you're playing the Bulls, like literally trot out 3 6 10 dudes, you're gonna win by 30. I'm not even playing. I'm not even exaggerating a little bit. Um, which trade will be the most impactful this season?
I got this one. It's Nikola Vucevic to the Boston Celtics.
I'm so curious. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious as to how that works. I mean, like first off, we gotta give big shout outs to them because we anticipating Boston is gonna like come down a bit because Jason Tatum's not there, and Jaylen Brown said, "I'm finna average 30."
yeah, he's been arguably he's been the MVP of the league this season. But I mean, they had a major hole at center. They didn't have to give up. I mean, Anthony Simons is it's like both of those guys are on expiring contracts, so you basically wash either way. I mean, if it doesn't work out with Nikola Vucevic, you let him walk. It's the same scenario with Anthony Simons. Nikola Vucevic actually plugs a hole that your team had that you created when you let Al Horford walk and when you let I don't remember the other centers. The rest of them, they had other centers on the roster that they let walk this offseason. And they had a major hole at center. Nikola Vucevic is still a 10-10 guy who can give you, can stretch the floor a little bit. He's still
more than
back in the basket. He's
10. He more than 10.
Yeah, I mean 15 and 10, whatever. I wasn't. But he plugs a major hole for Boston, and they gave up, which was essentially a luxury in Anthony Simons. I love that trade for Boston. I think he's going to be a difference maker. And that's the only one for this particular season. I think it's the only one that has any kind of class.
Unless
you got another. I mean,
no, real talk. Like I called them losers, but that James Harden and Cleveland did, especially with the two bigs that they got, like the two rim rollers that they had,
and the fact that they traded for Keon Ellis, who's a defensive minded guard that you can like sub out for James Harden. Like
you can sub him out for Mitchell. Like
you can play either guard. You can play either guard position. And they got Keon Ellis for an absolute steal from the Sacramento Kings. Like people were talking about them potentially getting a first-round pick for Keon Ellis.
How could I forget them as a loser, bro? Like the Sacramento Kings are.
Not to mention, you don't trade away Levine, you don't trade away DeRozan, you don't trade away Sabonis. You keep all of these guys for a team that's going nowhere.
Like Sabonis was in the Sabonis rumor mill had him going to Toronto, and I'm all like, yo, what does that look like? Who do you give up?
It would probably be Emmanuel Quickly and there's Jakob Poeltl just for the money's sake.
I would and if I'm being honest, like they other first round pick, what's his name? Murray Boyles would probably be a part of that deal. But you didn't really hear much about Sabonis anywhere, and it's like you can't sit here and tell me the skinny version of Jokic has no value, bro. Like,
I also think I would assume it was going to be valuable for the Wolves too. because they
Yeah,
needed another guard. But I is
like Ayo Dosunmu, like I'm wholeheartedly expecting he has a like kids take note. Dead ass kids take note. Like look at the Pat Bells, look at the Rashawn Holmes, look at the Ayo Dosunmus, like the dudes who were absolute monsters in high school, monsters. Strictly speaking of keeping this to Io, monster in high school, monster in college. Like you don't win Big Ten Player of the Year if you're a bum. You don't win the Bob Cousy Award, which is the best point guard in the nation, if you're a bum. He literally only fell to the. I have no idea how or why he fell to the second round, but I'm glad he did because his time here was great. He felt like he was a 4 year starter for Illinois. He comes to the Bulls. He feels an immediate need. He plays his role. He starts when he starts when they ask him to. He comes off the bench. He don't complain. If you're if you're a college player looking for chasing NBA dreams, look at Ayo Dosunmu and be like, yeah, I can do that. I can, because he's having a career year now.
yeah.
Like, dude is like, I wish him nothing but success up in Minnesota. Like, I wholeheartedly wish that for him.
But yeah, thank you very much for joining us. This has been our version of the crossover with the 2026 NBA trade deadline recap. But before we get up out of here, TJ, I a little bit cut you off earlier in the show. We were talking about the Super Bowl. Let me hit you with the rest of your analysis on what you got with going on with the Super Bowl.
Yeah, like I said, I'm picking Seattle to win it. I think the defensive front on Seattle's defense as a whole is going to cause problems. Nick Imanwari had a sprained ankle today in practice. He's still going to play because it's the fucking Super Bowl. Like, everybody's like, this is it. Like, everybody's going to play. Would I be shocked if New England somehow pulled this off? No, not really. The only way I see that really happening is if one, they control the clock with their run game with Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson, and they somehow make Sam Darnold's life a living hell. And if you're Sam Darnold, hey man, to some you've already eliminated
the ghosts,
ghosts, boogeyman, whatever you wanted. By the last 2 years, his last 2 years in the league, his record is
he has more wins than any player in 2 seasons in the history of the league.
It's like 20.
No, it's like two seasons on 2 different teams than anyone in the history of the NFL.
I think in the last 2 years he's 20, 28 or 29 and 7.
Yeah.
Whatever,
yeah.
So it's like, dude, and to think about all the people coming back out, like you had Jamal Adams, who was his teammate in New York, who was like, Sam was always him. We just ain't have the stuff around him to be great in New York. And Woody Johnson, he don't do a lot of shit right, but he said that. Like, he came out like, yeah, like we didn't put the proper stuff around Sam for him to be great. And it also preaches, like, he's another to add his name into the list of, like, yeah, don't be so quick to give up on quarterbacks. Shit takes time. If your roster is terrible, the first person to go can't be the rookie quarterback that you drafted.
Yeah. But yeah, I also picked the Seattle Seahawks. I just think that they're a much more talented.
Did you pick a Super Bowl MVP? Who do you think is going to be Super Bowl?
Yes, I picked Kenneth Walker.
You picked Kenneth Walker. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm picking Seattle. I obviously, like, if they win, like, it's depending on the numbers he put up, it's pretty much like a walk, like hand in glove fit for if Sam Darnold comes out and he's 28 of 35 for like 345 and 3 or 4 touchdowns. Like, yeah, just
Yeah.
yeah, give it to him.
But I think that they're going to run the football pretty. I don't know because I mean Chris Gonzalez is going to take away JSN.
No, he's not. I don't think
Yes,
so because
yes, he is. Christian
JSN
Gonzalez
play.
Christian Gonzalez is the best
No,
corner
no,
in the
no.
NFL.
I'm not saying Gonzalez is terrible, but I'm saying the way they move JSN around is going to allow for JSN to have a big day. Um, he can. I think he can have a. I think he can win Super Bowl MVP. I don't hate the Kenneth Walker pick. I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I am going to say, depending on the severity of the ankle sprain, either Nick Emanwari or Leonard Williams win Super Bowl MVP.
I mean, we haven't seen a defensive player win the Super Bowl MVP in 10 years. The last time the Super Bowl was in Santa Clara. So it would be a very because Von Miller won the Super Bowl MVP. That Panthers
that was
Broncos
Super Bowl
50 in Santa Clara in Levi Stadium in the exact same building. But yeah, so yeah, I don't hate it. We'll see. I'm going Kenneth Walker to third. I don't remember the last time a running back won Super Bowl MVP either. It's got to be. I mean, I know Patrick Mahomes stole the one from
Damian Williams. Yeah.
Williams. Yeah. Let me look that up real quick. And then
who the 13-3 Super Bowl with Seattle?
Sony Michel. Did Sony Michel win the MVP that season?
I was going to ask you.
I'm looking it up.
13-3. It was like to a lot of people, it was the worst Super Bowl in like recent memory. Okay. Josh McDaniels just won.
It's probably deserving. You have to go back more than 20 years. The last time a running back won the Super Bowl MVP. Do you have a guess of who it was?
20 years ago was 2005.
You got to go back further than that. So you got to go back almost 30 years, actually.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Last time a running back won Super Bowl MVP.
It
was Terrell Davis. Terrell Davis won Super Bowl MVP in 1998. He's the last running back to win Super Bowl MVP.
That's 27 years.
And actually, since Terrell Davis, 3 linebackers have won the Super Bowl MVP in that same time frame. So it's actually more rare that a running back wins Super Bowl MVP than a linebacker / defensive player.
Wow. That's kind of sad.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Kenneth Walker's going to get it. This has been our mini Super Bowl breakdown. TJ wasn't able to make the show.
But on the flip side, if New England wins, I can wholeheartedly see Christian Gonzalez having that kind of game.
I agree with you on that.
Like I can see Christian Gonzalez. I can see Milton Williams having a day. I think I think if the Patriots were to win, that Super Bowl MVP will be somebody from the defensive side. I just don't think the offense has enough for them to I don't think the offense is an offensive player is gonna have that kind of game where they're like, yeah, he's Super Bowl MVP. I think that if the Patriots win, one of their defensive players will win Super Bowl MVP.
Thank you very much for joining us. This has been our version of the crossover, breaking down the 2026 NBA trade deadline. I'm David Huppin, right there. My co-host, Mr. T.J. Hopkins. If you like what we're doing here,
I just want to give a quick shout out to my brother who is in the air on his way to Australia right now for a 6-month assignment. Watch out for the Eastern Browns. They are very, very, very poisonous.
God bless to you, brother. This has been Prime Sports World. If you like what we're doing here, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. Mr. Hopkins, what we do here at the Prime, my friend.
We bring the heat. And if his assignment was more than 6 months, I would damn sure look up how to get to Australia and how much it costs.
I don't want to rub it in, but it's like 70 degrees here. It is literally could not be nicer.
Like you know what, David? Like when like we had that cold stretch and like we had a 20-degree day for the first time in like 2 weeks,
Did you break
and
your
I
shorts out?
stepped out. I'm not white. I'm not that white. But when I say like, oh, okay, it actually feel kind of decent. But like then obviously like the wind happened, and it's like, oh, it's still 20 degrees out.
On that note, we'll be back here probably tomorrow, maybe doing a mock draft show. Otherwise, we'll pull a plug on that until next week. But just keep an eye out for all the content. Like, share, and subscribe. And TJ, you have a great night, man. Peace out,
You
brother.
too, man.